Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce myself first. My name is Bondan Baksajadu. My student's number is 0923013901. Right now, I would like to give my opinion about the summaries of each paragraph based on my assignment. So, I would like to move on the first paragraph exactly for the text A. The first paragraph is about the concept of money as a unit of account is difficult to grasp because, unlike physical measurements like yards or meters, the value of money is subjective and can change over time based on people's perceptions and circumstances. So the first paragraph it discusses about the difficulty of understanding money as a unit of account is well explained. I accurately captured that unlike fixed physical measurement, the value of money is subjective and changes with time and perception. So I would like to move the second paragraph. Sir Isaac Newton, as a matter of the Royal Mint, defined the British pound in terms of gold, switching Britain from a silver-based to a gold-based currency. Other denominations, like the shilling and penny, were fractions of this gold-based pound. So the second paragraph is about the role of Sir Isaac Newton in defining the British pound in terms of gold is correctly summarized. Noting how this shifted Britain from silver to gold and set fixed values for other denominations like the shilling and penny. That's the summary and the main point, so I would like to move the third paragraph. By the late 19th century, the gold standard had spread globally, creating a unified system of money, although currency had different names in various countries. They were all linked by their fixed values in terms of gold. So the third paragraph is about the spread of the gold standard by the late 19th century, creating a unified global monetary system based on gold. It is also correctly highlighted. Even though currencies had different names, they were all interconnected through their fixed gold values. So I would like to move the paragraph B, the text B, and I will start to give the main point from the first paragraph. Prices of commodities and services are constantly changing in relation to each other due to various factors, such as a failed potato crop raising potato prices. However, this change in price doesn't lead to overall inflation if money remains stable. Instead, it leads to shift in relative prices throughout the economy. So in the first example, explain how price changes in individual commodities, like potatoes, don't necessarily lead to general inflation if the money is sound. Instead, they cause shifts in relative prices of other goods. And the overall price level remains stable as long as the purchasing power of money is stable. So, next to the second paragraph, during the gold standard, the price of commodities fluctuated in relation to the fixed price of gold. Deflation occurred when gold supplies dwindled, and inflation occurred when new gold was discovered, as the supply of money increased. The second paragraph describes how under the gold standard, the price of commodity fluctuated in relation to gold. It is like change in the supply of gold led to either deflation or inflation globally. depending on whether the gold supply decreased or increased. That's the end for the text B, and I will move to the text C. Start from the first paragraph. The gold standard ended with the Bretton Woods Agreement in 1946, which pegged world currency to the US dollar, and the dollar was tied to gold in 1971. The US stopped exchanging dollars for gold, and other countries followed, leading to the printing of fiat money. The more currency that was printed, the less each unit was worth. So in the first paragraph, text C explained the end of the gold standard with the introduction of the Bretton Woods Agreement, where currency were tied to the US dollar, which in turn was tied to gold, when the US stopped exchanging dollar for gold in 1971. Other countries followed, leading to the use of fiat currency. As governments printed more money, the value of each unit decreased. And the second paragraph, the issue with fiat currencies is that their value isn't fixed, but instead depends on how much money the government prints, making future values unpredictable. And then the economy forecast, such as those by the Australian Institute for Public Policy, rely on past inflation rates to estimate future inflation, typically assuming a rate of based on historical trends. So the second paragraph of text C is about their value is unpredictable and depends on how much money a government chose to print. Economic institutions like the Australian Institute for Public Policy rely on historical data such as inflation rates to make future financial predictions, often assuming an inflation rate of 3 until 4%. And the text D, I would like to start from the first paragraph. The advantage of the 19th century gold standard was that it provided a consistent unit of account worldwide. An example for 1872 shows that price differences between countries, like cheaper meat in Australia compared to the UK, drove innovation and investment such as the development of shipboard refrigeration to transport Australian meat to the UK. So the first paragraph of the text D, that I captured the point that the 19th century gold standard provided a consistent unit of account globally, which allowed for better economic decision making. The example of meat prices between Australia and the UK highlights how price differences drove innovation and opened up new markets, benefiting both parties. Next is second paragraph. In contrast to the gold standard, today's exchange rate fluctuate, meaning price differences between countries can change unpredictably in short periods. This makes investment based on current exchange rate risky because future change could impact profitability. So the explanation from the second paragraph is like today's fluctuating exchange rate and how they create unpredictability in investment based on current rates is accurate. It points out that exchange rates can change quickly, leading to the potential losses. And finally, in the third paragraph of text D, A single stable global currency would provide more accurate and predictable information, helping people make better decisions about where to invest their resources worldwide. This would reduce the uncertainty caused by fluctuating exchange rate. The third paragraph, the idea that a single stable world currency will offer more reliable information for global investment, leading to better decision making, is also well summarized. And I think that's all that I can convey to you. I would like to end my presentation, and I hope my explanation is easy to understand, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.